How's it going today, guys? So today we're going to continue my series talking about different interesting business ideas, and today's business idea is all about drones and starting your own drone business. Now, I know a lot of people out there like drones. I know a lot of people are interested in them, and I don't want to make this appear like a business you can just jump into or something you can just start by merely going out and buying a nice quality drone. There's a lot of regulation and laws in place now, and you have a lot of stuff you have to take care of on the legal side of things before you are a commercial drone operator. But if you're up for the challenge and you are really passionate about drones and it's something you want to do full time, then there are definite ways you can make a good living, or even more than that, make a lot of money being a commercial drone operator. So recreational drone operators can turn their hobby into a profession. So I would recommend that if you're somebody who doesn't know anything about drones, why not start on the hobbyist side of things? Because there's certainly a learning curve there where you're going to have to learn the stuff anyway, so why not start flying one, as a recreational hobby kind of. And then once you really have some experience under your belt, maybe that's when you would consider doing this as a profession. But if you're someone who already flies a drone as a hobby and you do it for fun and you want to make some money, then there are things you can do to make good money as a drone operator. But it's not as simple as posting an ad on Craigslist. A lot of people don't realize this, but you can't just go on Craigslist or go on a website and say, hey, I'll take photos of your land, I'll take videos of your real estate, and just throw me a couple $100 for that. That's illegal, for one thing, okay? And you could get fined hundreds of thousands of dollars from the FAA. So if you're going to do it, you're going to want to be legitimate with it, and you're going to want to follow all of the legal proceedings to actually do this. So commercial drone operators must apply for a 333 exemption with the FAA, which is the Federal Aviation Administration. Drones or UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles, are actually considered an aircraft, so you have to go through the FAA. You need a drone pilot license. You also should carry insurance on your drones in case your $1,000 equipment falls out of the sky or you injure someone with a drone by some chance. You also are required to have flight logs. So if you're somebody who's going to be using a drone for commercial use, understand you have to log all of your flights as well as your modifications. So there's a lot of stuff you have to do within the FAA in order to be a commercial drone operator. But while many of you see this as a bad thing, I would actually say this is a good thing because this is a high barrier of entry. Basically, this means that everyone out there is not going to just start a drone business because it's incredibly difficult to, and there's a lot of things you need to do in order to do this the right way and to do it legally. So as a result, if you're someone who's ambitious enough, this high barrier of entry is a good thing because there's going to be less competition out there. So if you're someone who is a hobbyist and you want to figure out how to make some money with your drones, here are 4 ways you can do this. Number 1 is through inspections. So my first example is building inspections for roofs or possibly chimneys, things that are hard to reach. So rather than climbing up there and inspecting a roof, maybe there's a roofer who wants to redo a roof, or somebody who has a leak in their roof and they want to see what the problem is. Rather than send somebody up there on a ladder or get someone up there where it may be difficult to, you could just throw a drone up there, or you could go up there and get a video of that roof for them. Another example would be roof inspections for solar installations. So somebody who's looking to put solar on their roof and they want to check out the structural integrity of a roof, or even plan out the array, they may have use for a drone as far as getting a video of that roof. Also for insurance claims. Think about insurance companies that may have a roof claim and they want to actually take a look at the damage of the roof and determine how much money they have to pay out in insurance. They may find your drone service to be very useful rather than sending somebody else up there to check it out, walking up there on the roof or climbing up there. Utility inspections. This is a huge one, guys. This was my former job before I was full-time here on YouTube. Part of my job was driving around and looking at the power lines and doing the routine maintenance. So looking for damaged or broken equipment and replacing stuff that needed to be replaced. I basically did all the behind-the-scenes work, but we spend so much money as a utility inspecting power lines and inspecting all that equipment. This could all be replaced by one drone. And a lot of the times, I'm going to be honest with you guys, we're on the ground looking with a pair of binoculars at a 40 or 50 foot pole. We can't see that very well sometimes, so I'm sure a lot of stuff slipped through the cracks. If you could have a drone flying over the power lines, even set on a course so it was done by GPS, that would take a lot of people out of the equation and make that a lot less expensive for a utility to do their routine inspections. The same thing could apply for oil pipelines, for bridges, for cell phone towers, and even wind turbines. So there's so many things that are very difficult to get to that we could get to more easily with a drone. Another example would be land surveying for construction, for urban planning, for mining, for vegetation management. I could do a whole video about drone inspection businesses, but I just kind of want to point you guys in the right direction to get you guys thinking. Okay, my second example here is something totally different. This is drone repair. So what is one thing that we know about drones is they are not very durable devices. I'm sure if you guys have seen videos of people crashing these things, then you know that they fall apart very easily and they break. And they're also things that people like to modify and upgrade. So a lot of people get involved with drones, they have no idea what they're doing, and they damage their brand new drone. The good news is, well, I guess this is good news if you're in the drone repair business, is because of the price point, because drones are so expensive for that initial purchase, it's cost effective to repair them. Now, would I recommend opening up a television repair shop? Absolutely not, because those are so cheap, when they break, you just buy a new one. But because many drones are $1,000 plus, it's cost effective to actually repair them. So you could repair the drones if you have the skills and the tools and the interest in that, but you would definitely want to advertise your services online and probably have people ship you drones that are damaged, because I don't think there would be enough people in your immediate area that have broken drones or drones in general to have a business like that. You would definitely have to advertise online. But you could even do something like making YouTube videos of the basics, or even showing people in videos how to fix stuff. And when they watch your video, they're going to be like, that is really complicated. I'm just going to pay this guy to do it. So you could be very subtly advertising your services by showing them how difficult it really is to do what it is that you do. Number 3, my third drone business is agriculture. So you could be involved with surveying crops and collecting data. So flying over fields and looking at the actual crops themselves. And you want to be looking for things like soil hydration and pest control. These are things that farmers spend a lot of money on. They spend a lot of money watering crops that don't need to be watered, and they spend a lot of money putting down excessive amounts of pesticides and too much fertilizers. So you could basically go in there and get videos of their crops and tell them what sections need to be watered, what sections need fertilizers, what sections need pest control. And your business would pay for itself, because you could go up to them and say, hey, I'm going to save you X amount of dollars or X percentage on your watering costs and your fertilizing costs and all of that, and your pest control costs, for this low-cost service right here that I'm offering. But I would go above and beyond this. I wouldn't just give these farmers videos, because they're not going to want to look at that, and most of them are not very technologically inclined. You know, they're not going to be the type that are going to sit down and look through a video and be like, oh, because that crop is yellow, it means it needs more water. What I would do is full service analysis. So I wouldn't just go out there and collect this data. I would also analyze it and tell them, hey, look, you need water in this area. You're overwatering this section of your crops. You need fertilizer in this section. That way you can just go up to them and tell them what needs to be done. And as a result, they're probably going to pay you more for that service rather than just getting a video of that. Now that obviously, there's a lot that goes into that, but if you had a good team, this is something you could easily do with a group, is do advanced analysis of crops and of agriculture. Okay, the fourth and final business idea I have is a pretty simple one, because these other ones were kind of complicated, and I'm sure it would be difficult to end up being a contractor for like a utility and getting permission to fly over their power lines. So on the smaller scale of things, let's talk about a drone photography business. So basically, you could do photos or videos of real estate. This is my favorite example. So think about people who are looking to sell a piece of land. Rather than showing a Google Earth image of that land or pictures from the road of a forest, wouldn't a drone aerial shot be better, or a video of that property as far as selling it? Think about filming events or weddings. Wouldn't that be an interesting thing to have a video of your wedding in a time lapse? Another thing that was huge too, and I actually just saw this over the weekend. I was on vacation in Maine, and I went through the community center there, or I guess the visitor center, and I looked up at their television, and they had these beautiful drone shots of the beach. And I saw in the video, it talked about how there was the company who did that, they had their logo in there. They specifically do drone videos for tourism purposes. So they go to tourist areas and they get all kinds of beautiful videos for the town, and I'm sure that works into their tourism budget, and they get these great videos of the beaches and of the areas around there. And that's something that's just so much better conveyed with a drone video than just a photo from the ground. So there's another example. And then the last thing you could do is get really amazing photos and videos yourself, and then sell the rights to your media on your own website. So maybe you have gorgeous drone videos of waterfalls or mountains, and then you sell the rights to those online and make money that way. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this video. This is 4 very interesting drone business ideas. Now there's a lot more out there. If you guys have any ideas that you want to recommend, please drop them in the comment section below. And I'm sure, as you guys can see with what I talked about earlier, there's a lot of stuff you have to do. So if you do want to go out there and start your own drone business, make sure you do your own research and make sure you're following all of the laws and all the FAA regulations. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please drop a like, and if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing to be notified of any future uploads. And as always, I thank you for taking the time to watch this video.